So, as I'm making this video, it is currently Friday, June 28th, and yesterday was the presidential debate. The first out of two for this election cycle. And my God, was it something. It was definitely entertaining to say the very least. I, here's the thing. I was told by the mainstream media, as well as Karine Jean-Pierre, who is the press secretary under Biden, that all those mumbling, jumbling moments that Biden had, those dementia moments, were just completely not true. They were made up by right-wing critics, and that they were simply deep fakes. There was nothing wrong with him, and that he was sharp and had a very great mind, especially behind closed doors. And Harry Sisson, he even went so far as to say that he has been prepping for this debate for about a week, and he was ready to make me look like into a complete buffoon. As a Trump supporter, he was supposedly gonna wipe the floor with Trump in this debate. Oh my God, I have never seen this kind of debate ever, and this is coming from someone who I got interested into politics at a young age. While Stick, Sex, and Hammer was around since 1992, since he was pretty young at that time, I got started looking at the debates at least by 2008. In fact, although to be fair, I was more focused by the time 2012 happened, and then came 2016, and so on and so forth. I've been attuned to these debates since 2012, and I have never seen a candidate, Democrat or Republican, fuck up this badly. I'm completely serious. I was with my best friend, who stayed at the house with me to watch this debate, and we saw how Joe Biden was acting, and especially how he looked and how I wouldn't say jumpy, but he was definitely rushing to say a lot of stuff to the point where he began slurring, and he couldn't even think on what he was saying, which further derailed the entire debate. And my best friend, because he was on Adderall at the time, he mentioned that Joe Biden looked like he had the symptoms of actually having Adderall, because he was, again, trying to be quick in terms of trying to say the words and trying to process them towards the audience, or, well, lack thereof, unless you're talking about the TV audience, which, let's just be honest, everyone saw this, and they already saw that Joe Biden was a complete buffoon on stage. Donald Trump, I will say this. I was expecting Donald Trump to be all bombastic, because that's usually the way he is. Let's just not kid ourselves on that. He usually is pretty bombastic. He usually charges ahead. He usually attacks his opponents immediately. He did not really do that much. He acted more composed, presidential, and don't get me wrong, he did attack Donald Trump not Donald Trump, Joe Biden a few times. I think I'm getting what Joe Biden is having. But seriously, there were times when Donald Trump managed to get several one-liners against Joe Biden, such as the time where when Joe Biden mentioned about how he beat Medicare, even though that was a part of his gaffe. And then Donald Trump, when it was his turn, said, well, of course you beat Medicare. You beat it to death. And there were so many things there were several one-liners that I'm not going to put them all in this video. But my God, was it a complete and utter wipeout. Joe Biden was not there. Absolutely not. He looked tired. In fact, my best friend again looked like he had plastic surgery. His face was going like this. And like he didn't know where the hell he was. Literally 80% of the time, and so on and so forth. He looked like the kind of guy who is, I mean, yeah, he's pretty old. That much is obvious. But he looked like he just came out of bed, had to put on his suit on, and then had to come out and do all this audience work, or sorry, this debate work. My God, I have never seen such a major lopsided victory as I have in that debate. It kind of reminded me of the 1960 presidential debate where Richard Nixon was debating against JFK in the first ever live presidential debate, and Richard Nixon had the same problems as Joe Biden did. He looked old, he looked unprepared, he looked tired, and that inevitably caused him, at least partly, to lose the presidential election to JFK in 1960. Now, it's the exact opposite. Joe Biden lost the debate. In fact, it wasn't even a contest. When CNN made its snap poll after debate, Joe Biden only had 33% in terms of who supposedly won the debate. 33%. Donald Trump had 67. 2-1. Donald Trump won that debate, according to CNN's own viewers. And at this very point in time, we're already seeing the massive fallout. A lot of top major Democrats, as well as fundraisers for the party, have actually come into question whether or not Joe Biden should actually be replaced. And I'm just going to say it. That's not going to happen. Is it legal? Absolutely. From what I understand, absolutely. But it's not looking possible whatsoever that Joe Biden would be stepping down. Because one, it would require him to say, okay, I'm stepping down and I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to hand it to someone like Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom, who, by the way, Gavin Newsom actually said that Joe Biden won this debate. Same with Harry Sisson. Literally the only two people that I've even heard that said Joe Biden won this debate. My God, the copium they're overdosing on copium at this point. But yeah, there's no way that Joe Biden is going to do this. And let's just say, theoretically, that Joe Biden does step down. First of all, who's going to replace him? Again, I know that the Democratic Party is suggesting someone like Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom, but even then, they have their own issues of baggage, such as the COVID mandates and just, well, Gavin Newsom is from California. And second, what the hell are they going to do in terms of trying to get money for their own campaigns? They cannot be able to get enough money to outgrow against Donald Trump within 5 months. If they're going to do that right now. But it's suggested that some people are thinking that they're going to do this in the convention, which is a very bad idea because that's even less time. That is in August 11th, or that's in mid-August. And that is about 3.5 months from Election Day. 3.5 months. It's near impossible at that point, not only to establish the logistics in terms of trying to get their own separate campaigns ready, but also to get to fundraise enough money to go against Donald Trump. And I know that there are some people that are suggesting maybe to transfer money from Joe Biden to their accounts. That's honestly extremely hard. You would have to try to get Joe Biden again to agree with all of this. So I don't really see anything going on here that suggests that Joe Biden will step down. But my God, we are already seeing the massive fallout. The fact that this kind of talk is now out in the open screams not only weakness, it screams desperation from the Democrats. They are stuck with this guy. And unfortunately, they can't redo the primaries because they basically already put their weight into Joe Biden. They are stuck with him. And with this debate performance, people are not thinking that he will win. And honestly, I don't really blame them. I mean, here's the thing. the betting odds again for Joe Biden have gone down drastically. There was a comment under the quartering for his video in regards to this election where a guy by the name of Rain Man Plays, and I'm looking on my I actually took a screenshot of this. Biden went from 35.7% in the RCP average betting odds before the debates to 19.2% this morning. I looked it up. I did not believe that it was that big of a drop, but yes, it is it's 100% true. It's drastically decreased, and that's even the same. Even the same is showing with polling market. They even gave Trump a little bit of a bump by about 2 cents there, but Biden decreased by about 12 to 14 cents in polling market. No one expects Joe Biden to win. The Democrats are completely panicking. They don't know what they're gonna do. Either way, they're screwed. They can't. If they don't replace them, they lose the election. If they do replace them, they lose the election. Probably worse, because the other equivalent would be, I don't know, Kamala Harris. I mean, aside from, like, again, Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom, but she's still the VP incumbent. Just saying. But my God, we are seeing the fallout here. And if there's anything to tell, Joe Biden probably lost the election before it's even happened. My name is Noah Meehan, not the Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak or any improvements I should make, aside from my obvious Joe Biden gaffes, please post in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost